Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at a foldable. And I think we all know Samsung is the pioneer of foldable phones, and we've seen a number of other smartphones brands like Oppo and Xiaomi jumping into this bandwagon. We've not seen their devices being available locally here in Kenya yet, and that's why actually Samsung is taking over the market with their foldables. And one of the foldables we're going to be looking at in this video is the Z Fold 4, which of course Samsung made available in the Kenyan market back in August. Actually the same time we really had the Unpacked event. So this phone will cost you roughly 260 or 70,000. So that's quite an expensive price tag, which could get me even two S22 Ultras. But the question is, should you really buy it? Here's a quick look at the Galaxy Z Fold 4. We all agree that Samsung is actually ahead of its time with the Galaxy Fold 4, and there are so many things to actually like about this particular device, which I've actually been using, for about 2 or 3 weeks now. My favorite thing about this, about it, is that it comes with a dozen of small refinements compared to what we saw, on the Galaxy Z Fold 3. For example, the hinge is a little bit thinner, as you can see right here. The phone is a little bit lighter, and the bezels on the screen cover, are just a little bit smaller, and the body is actually really wide, making this phone really enjoyable to use even when closed. So everything about the Fold 4 feels more tailored, including the software, and Samsung really made multitasking on this particular device approachable and very easy. So basically, these are phones that can make all your multitasking and everything you want to do, opening multiple apps, quite really easy. So let's talk about the display. So this phone actually has an external 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display. Of course, the front screen also supports 120 Hz, smooth 120 Hz refresh rate for smooth scrolling animation. It's a reasonably really tall, display, but again, it's really enjoyable to use. It almost feels like a regular smartphone, which of course the screen's intended purpose. And of course, inside the Fold, we're getting the same 7.6-inch folding display. The inner display also supports 120 Hz refresh rate. And of course, this larger display is really perfect, really perfect for watching your content on YouTube. So you're the kind of person who really enjoys, watching YouTube videos and all that. This screen is really perfect for that, and even feels more interesting when you open your videos on full screen. So Samsung really made this display really interesting, and I think the Fold 4 continues to have a plastic screen protector, of course, to protect the phone from some light scratches and all that. It's basically everything we've seen in the previous generation of Folds as well, the plastic screen protector. Let's talk about the hinge. One of the biggest concerns about foldables has always been the hinge, and if you remember, this was a big problem with the first generation of foldables. They even forced Samsung to push production to, I think, 2019, and over the time Samsung has done some refinements for Fold 4, and this hinge is a little bit slimmer than what we saw on the Fold 3, but also very firm. So this actually makes the Fold 4 incredibly satisfying to close. I'm actually really enjoying just folding this phone. There you go, very easy, very firm. Combine the hinge, with the aluminum side of the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, and of course the Fold 4 feels really more solid. And of course the hinge also enables several useful and distinctive use cases, such as of course serving as a tiny stand. You can use to watch your favorite movies. I can actually do that. Let's talk about Android L, which I think which is actually what these phones come with. So Android 12, which I really enjoyed using on the Fold 4, is basically optimized for large screens and foldables. And of course, this combined with Samsung's lovely tweaks, like we've seen here, makes you really feel like you're using something really special, without compromising on features and capabilities you expect from a phone that doesn't fold in half. Yeah, so the ease of use, just one other reason they fold so is so appealing to me. Also, it's also quite interesting that I can actually have 3 apps. Yep, I can actually have 3 apps open with the 4th one up in the floating window. So yeah, I'm gonna try opening for example, this is my Twitter app, open. I'm gonna try opening the YouTube app there. So that's the 3rd app open. Then I'm gonna try drag. Let me see. Let me add my Google Duo app there. Yep. Yeah. So this is quite ridiculous. I actually have 3 apps open. Yeah. There you guys can see and still be able to use, scroll through my Twitter as even play my favorite
in driver you can actually bargain
my favorite YouTube video. Yep. So let's talk about the cameras again, which is actually one of the standard features on this particular phone. So the Galaxy Fold 4 features a triple camera system with the 50 megapixels, so 50 megapixels wide camera, standard wide camera. Then of course we're getting a 10 megapixels telephoto camera and a 12 megapixels ultra wide camera. The wide telephoto camera actually is was actually upgraded this year, with the main camera receiving an upgrade from 12 megapixels and the telephoto also gaining a 3 times optical zoom. This actually changes, this change also enables a 30 times space zoom, allowing you to take photos from far away. So there are 2 selfie cameras, as you can see. Again, I'm really not sure if you're able to see that. So there's one that actually on the cover of the display, this one right here. Then there's an extra one that is actually under display, that is basically an under display camera. It's just behind, the main screen. So the under display camera right there is the one that really, can't remember the last time I used it. Probably explains why Samsung really felt good about, hiding it, behind the display. Yeah. So again, I need to actually mention the main cameras, the main and telephoto cameras on the back are basically similar, to the ones we saw on the Galaxy S22 and Galaxy S22 Plus. Again, the photos look pretty good, sharp with punch colors. The night mode, I really love the night mode. Looked really pretty good. So the Galaxy Z Fold 4 also can actually shoot videos of up to 8K at 8K, at 24 frames, per second. There you go. So actually shoot, high resolution video at 8K at 24 frames per second, and also provide features such as Super Steady, which helps stabilize the video. However, Super Steady only limits the resolution to 1080 at 60 frames per second, so you won't be able to shoot videos in 4K when you're using the Super Steady mode. Yep, let's talk about the performance. So this device comes with 128 gigs of internal storage. So regardless of how much storage you have on board, this is actually enough to store all your files, all your important documents and all that. And also this phone, has a Snapdragon 8 Plus generator chip, the fastest and probably the newest processor in any Samsung phone that we've seen in Samsung phone. It's basically the same processor that we've seen in gaming phones, including the 2022, Res, and of course the newest foldable phone, which is actually the newest foldable phone from Motorola. And speaking of gaming, this Fold 4 is the perfect Yep, the perfect size for mobile gaming. So with this huge screen, of course, it makes the gaming feels more immersive. Really get you involved, because this really big screen is actually really big, you know, to play and enjoy all your favorite game. So again, this steady processor, and of course the high refresh rate, you know, the 120 high refresh rate that we spoke about earlier, you know, are really good for games. Animations look incredibly smooth. Of course, you know, we've read about benchmarks, and the phone really, you know, scored higher, you know, than even the Fold 3 and even the S22 Ultra. So another sign that this new processor brings a slightly speed boost on the Galaxy Z Fold 4. We've said basically everything about the Galaxy Z Fold 4, but again, should you really buy this device? So I mean, here's the thing: the Galaxy Fold, you know, is becoming, you know, a more polished product compared to what we saw with the previous generation of foldables from Samsung. And this year, of course, Samsung has brought some minor refinements on this particular device that make it quite an interesting and a polished product. So of course, these new refinements you know, play a very significant role, you know, in the evolution of actually foldables. So if you're willing to be more cautious, because this is a very delicate product, very premium product, then I think it's a phone you should maybe just consider. Again, if you're willing to pay that high price tag, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 provides an experience that most really normal smartphones don't really replicate. You know, again, during the pre-orders, I remember Samsung, when pre-orders ended, Samsung said the pre-orders was the most successful yet they have seen. This year, there was a 50% increase in pre-orders. So that basically tells you people are actually buying this particular device. So yeah, that's it for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Would you spend some 270,000 to buy a foldable? And of course, we have cases, even just people saying how practical this device is. But again, would you really buy this particular device, the Galaxy Z Fold 4? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.